Hello everyone. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to record the class and I'm going to share my screen and see it. So in our last class, we have learned up to types of insulator, right?
Meanings register.
Yeah, and pin type insulator and suspension type insulator. We have seen the advantages of suspension type insulator, or we haven't. Which one?
Sir, you are starting today's expression. Yes.
I have started the suspension type. Okay. Now see,
Yes.
suspension type insulator has few advantages, few basic advantages, and this is the most important insulator that we are going to study in this semester. Number one, see the advantages. Suspension type insulators are cheaper than pin type insulator for voltages beyond 33 kilovolt. I told you before. Wait a minute. I told you before the pin type insulators are good for voltage less than 33 kilovolt, right? There you can see, here it is written, pin type insulators are used transmission and distribution power at voltage up to 33 kilovolt. That means if your voltage is less than 33 kilovolt, pin type is your insulator. If it is not, then you have to go to the suspension. This is the suspension type. Can you see this is the tower? That means the cross arm. With the cross arm, it is connected. Then you have one disk. Then you have another disk. Then you have another disk. 3 disks. After the disk, your conductors are hold tightly. Wait a second. Okay. Um, Now the suspension type, you can see it is based on disk, right? At the starting point and the end point, at the middle, it has some disks, like something like that, disk, right? So these disks are customizable. Customizable means if you need more disk, you can add more disk. If you need less disk, you can remove some disk. If one disk is damaged, you can replace that. You do not have to replace the whole thing. Here, look at this. If for some reason the middle part is damaged, this middle part is damaged, then you have to remove all of it and you have to replace the whole insulator block. But for this, let's say this block, can you see my mouse?
Yes, sir.
Let's say this block is damaged. Then you do not have to replace the whole thing. You just open it, change the disk, get a new disk, and connect it together again, and you are good to go. That's it. So that's why this one is easily repairable, and it will give you less trouble and less cost. That's why suspension type insulators are better in many cases. So that's why we will be learning about the advantages of suspension type insulator. Now, suspension type insulators are cheaper than pin type insulator for voltage beyond 33 kilovolt. Each unit or disk of suspension type insulator is designed for low voltage, usually 11 kilovolt. That means each disk can sustain 11 kilovolt. Normally, one disk can hold 11 kilovolt. Two disks can hold 22 kilovolt. 3 disks can hold what is that, 33 kilovolt. 4 disk 44, 5 disk 55, 6 disks 66 kilovolt. Understood? Each disk can hold 11 kilovolt. So if any disk is damaged, number 3, if any disk is damaged, the whole string does not become useless because the damaged disk can be replaced by the sound one. That means the good one. The suspension arrangement provide a greater flexibility of the line. What do I mean by greater flexibility? Greater flexibility means, see, these suspension type insulator, they are hanging from the tower, right? So they can move. So if there is any vibration, they can suspend, they can move. So in case of vibration, the moving things are giving you better flexibility. So the whole thing remain flexible and safe and sound. In case of pin type, they are rock steady. So if there is any vibration, if there is any wind pressure, they will face some problem. Okay. Now the connection at the cross arm is such that the insulator string is free to swing in any direction, can take up the position where the mechanical stresses are minimum. That means obviously if there is any vibration, if there is any swing, so it will swing and it will take up the vibration and it will take the position where the mechanical stresses are minimum. That means if there is any vibration or if there is any stress, they can adjust themselves instantly. In case of increased demand of transmission line, this one is important. Increased demand of transmission line. That means if you need more power, you have two options. Number one, you increase the number of transmission line. Now you have 3 transmission lines. You can make 4 transmission lines or 6 transmission lines. You can double the transmission line, right? Obviously, if you need more power, you can double the transmission line. That means then more power will come. Or one more thing, or you can increase the voltage. If you increase the voltage, that means the power is increasing, right? If you increase the voltage, your power is increasing. That means you can give more power to your user, consumer. Okay. But for using more voltage, you have to what? You have to change the insulators. All the insulator must be changed. So if you use pin type insulator, you cannot do anything. You have to change it. You have to replace the all pin type insulator with new types of pin type insulator. But in case of suspension type, you just add disc. Okay, add disc. Here it is written. The additional insulator required to be raised voltage can be easily obtained by suspension type insulator arrangement by adding the desired number of disc. Right? Think about this. Now you have 33 kilovolt of voltage, right? Now you want to increase the voltage to 66. If you increase the voltage by double, I'm not saying you have to increase the current. No, not current. You have to increase the voltage only. If you increase the voltage, your power become double. So if your power become double, your suspension type insulator should have 6 discs now. In case of 33 kilovolt, you can use 3 discs or 4 discs. But when you use 66 kilovolt, you have to double the disc number as well. Okay, so you do not have to change the whole suspension. You just change, or you can just add the disc. That's it. The suspension type insulators are generally used for steel tower, and the conductors run below the earth cross arm of the tower. Therefore, the arrangement provides partial protection for the lightning. I told you this thing before yesterday. Yesterday means in the previous class. Okay, I told you this thing in the previous class. Now, what do I mean by that? That is this thing. Okay, let me draw something. Now you have a tower. This is the tower, right? Now you have a cross arm. This is the cross arm, right? Here, your suspension type insulator will remain here. Disc, disc, disc. Then you have the conductor, right? This is the conductor. Now, if there is any lightning, okay, the whole thing is steel tower. If there is any lightning, where it will start first? Okay, who is drawing this? Do not draw. Okay, if there is any lightning, where it will stuck? Where? So if there is any lightning, it will stuck here or it will stuck there. I believe the lightning
Yes,
will be stuck here, right? Upside,
yeah,
because it is
yes.
a steel tower. So it is giving you the partial protection. Why it is partial protection? Because if the lightning is stuck at the middle of the conductor, that means when there is no tower, one tower is here, another tower is here. So if this that means if the lightning is stuck at the middle, it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do, right? But if the lightning strikes near the tower, it will obviously go for the tower, not the conductor. So it is a partial protection. Okay, now let's see the strain type insulators. Those are normally this one is the strain type insulators. These are normally the corner, not corner, actually the end portion of the cable, end of the cable. That means you have a roll of cable, so you connect the cable in between 4 to 5 towers. After 4 to 5 towers, you actually finished the whole roll. So your conductor roll is finished. So you have to connect that. Then, okay, let me give you one example. I already gave you this example previously. Okay, you have one tower, another tower, another tower, another tower. Okay, now you bring one roll of conductors. So what you do, you take the conductor, this one is suspension type, this one is suspension type, because you are just hanging there, right? But what will happen at this corner and at this corner? Because for suspension type you need to use a solid conductor, that means you uninterrupted conductor. There you will use the suspension type. Here the suspension type insulator will just hold the conductor, right, like this. What will happen if there is only one portion there, that means it is the start or the end of the conductor? That time what you have to do, my god, that time what you have to do, you have to use the strain type insulator at the corner. Then let's say this is a tower, this is a pole. You have to use one more strain type insulator here, strain type. One conductor is being end here, another conductor will being end here, right? Then you connect the conductor using a auxiliary cable. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you this in the internet. Yeah, this one. This one is a strain type insulator. Here, one portion of the conductor is being connected. Another new conductor is connected. So you have to make the conduction. You have to make the conduction, right? So you will use a auxiliary cable and connect them. Okay, let me give you the real example. Yeah, here. See, the conductor here is end, right? One roll is end. So this is the strain type, and they are actually holding the conductor. This is also a strain type, so they are also holding the conductor. So this conductor and this conductor do not have any contact, because this is the end of one conductor, this is the beginning of another conductor. So what will happen? You have to connect the conductor using cable, auxiliary cable. This is an auxiliary cable. So you connect them together. Do you know why the do you know why the conductors are separated like this, so that they do not touch each other when there is a wind? So that's why they are separated. Okay, These are actually some auxiliary cable. They are connecting the conductors. That's it. Okay. Now see the what is that? Shackle type insulator. What is the shackle type? Oh, this can be the strain type as well. Strain type at the corner. You can use this strain type insulator at the corner as well. At the corner, if there is a cable, there is a bending, so it will be the shackle. Shackle means some sort of locking mechanism or some sort of what is that? The chain, some sort of chain. Okay, that's why it is called a shackle insulator. Now let me give you. Oh, this is strain type, not shackle. Shackle is this one. Okay, let me give you the shackle type. This one is the shackle type insulator. Where it is being used? This is being used here. Can you see the shackle type? Shackle type. So it is just making a loop, and they are tied together. That's why they are called shackle. Normally, the shackle type insulators are being used in normal cases like 11 kilovolt or less voltages, not more voltages. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. Now the potential distribution over suspension insulator string. Potential distribution means the voltage distribution. I told you previously, it should get 11 kilovolt, it should get 11 kilovolt, it should get 11 kilovolt, right? So if the voltage is 33 kilovolt in your conductor, it should get one third, one third, one third, right? But in real cases, is this the case? We will check it out. We will check whether the voltage is 11, 11, and 11 or not, right? So if the total voltage is V, that means from the conductor to the earth means the tower. From conductor is here, that is carrying some voltage. This is the tower, that is the ground, that means that is the earth. So if you take a multimeter and check the voltage of conductor and the tower, you will see the voltage is V. So theoretically speaking, this conductor, what is that? Insulator, this insulator and this insulator, they should be what is that? Carrying the equal amount of voltage. That means this one is V1, this one is V2, this one is V3. Theoretically speaking, they should be V by 3, V by 3, V by 3. Now, one more thing you have to understand. That is, the suspension type insulators are like this. They have some metal link in between, metal link. So how they are connected, how they are holding up together, because they have some metal link like this, metal link. This is metal link. Can you see the metal link? This is the insulator. There's a metal link, insulator, metal link. So they are connected together by a metal link. Okay, let me give you some insight. Yeah, you can see here, this is one disc of your suspension type insulator, one disc. Can you see some metal link? Can you see it? Okay. So they are actually used for holding up together. That means they are used for connecting together. You can see here, there is a what? There is a loop and there is a metal link. So you connect them together and give them the connection. This is how you connect them together. Okay. Using this metal link, you connect them together. So here, theoretically speaking, so this one is insulator, this one is insulator, this one is insulator, but in between you have some metal. Understood? Some metal link you have.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, since there is a metal link, and so this is metal, this is insulator. This is metal, this is metal, this is insulator. This is metal, this is metal, this is insulator, right? So they actually works like capacitors. They actually works like capacitors. Why? Because capacitors are like these. You have conductor, in between you have insulator. Metal, metal, insulator, metal, metal, insulator. So each disc will work like capacitors. C, C, C. Understood? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
There are some capacitors.
Yes.
Now here you have a conductor that has a very big voltage. You have earth, that means that is ground. And in between you have three capacitors, right? Three capacitors, theoretically. So what will happen? There will be a current flow. Normally there is no current flow, but we will, theoretically speaking, there will be a current flow. Let's say this is I, this is I, this is I, right? I current. So if there is any current, so there will be a voltage drop.
Yes.
This is V by 3, this is V by 3, this is V by 3, right?
Yes, sir.
There will be a voltage drop. Now, if there is any voltage drop, V by 3, V by 3, V by 3, so this is the potential voltage difference, right? So if this is V, the drop should be 11 kilovolt, 11 kilovolt, 11 kilovolt. So if it is 33, if it is 33, V by 3 means 33 by 3, that is 11, 11, 11, right? And this is the ideal case. So your disc are good to go because your disc can sustain 11 kilovolt, no problem. This disc can sustain 11 kilovolt, this disc can sustain 11 kilovolt, no problem will occur, no problem. But in practical life, this is theoretical. In practical life, what will happen? There is one more capacitors available through the air. Here you can see this is metal, right? In between capacitors or in between conductors there is a metal, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is the tower, that is also metal, right?
Yes, sir.
So in between these two metal, what you have? In between these two metal, you have air. A-I-R, air, right? You have air in between. So if you have air, this is also a capacitor.
Sir, again. Please.
Again, okay.
Listen.
So these are your actual capacitor, right? The physical capacitor. These are your physical capacitor. Now, you have a tower beside, because they are actually hanging.
Yes.
They are hanging, right?
Yes, sir.
If they are hanging at the right side or the left side, you have a tower. So that tower, that is metal, and in between the insulator disc, you have metal. This is a disc. This is a disc. In between disc, you have metal, right?
Yes.
So this is metal. This is metal. So they are metal. In between the metal, you have air. Air is insulator.
Yeah.
So this will be a capacitor as well. So these capacitors, that means the actual capacitors, physical capacitors, that means the disc, are called C, C, C. The air capacitor are called C1, C1, C1. So that means the disc capacitors are called self-capacitance, and the air capacitance are called shunt capacitance. Shunt, S-U-N-T, shunt. So your disc capacitors are called self-capacitance. Your air capacitance are called shunt capacitance. Okay, remember this: self and shunt, self and shunt. So which capacitance will be bigger in value?
Self. Or self, maybe self.
Yeah, self are bigger, right? Obviously, self are bigger.
Yes.
Air capacitance, that means the shunt capacitance, these are very small. So we can call C is equal to some percentage of, no, C1 is equal to, the C1 means shunt, right?
Yes.
C1 is equal to some percentage of C, like 10%. If it is 100 microfarad, it should be 10 microfarad. That is 10%, some percentage. That's why we have written C1 is equal to Kc. Okay. So
Yes.
here K is important. Remember, K is important. C1 is equal to Kc. So K is important, very much important. Okay. Now look at this now. Previously we calculated it should be V by 3, V by 3, V by 3 because same current is flowing. So same voltage drop and we are good to go because this is 11, 11, 11, right? But here, look at this. Since you have some shunt capacitance as well, so your current will go through that as well. So there, this current is called I3. This current is called small I3. This current is called I2. This current is called small I2. This current is called I1. This is called small I1. Now, previously, all current were I, same current, that means same voltage. Now, different current, different voltage, V3, V2, V1. Okay?
Yes.
If they are different, see, if they are different, right? Maybe this will be 13, this will be 11, this will be 9. This could be a case, right? If they are different. Because the all voltage should add up to V. So this plus this plus this should equal to 33 kilovolt, right?
Yes.
Now, if this is different, they still add up to 33, right?
Yes.
Okay, that means some voltage could be more than 11 kilovolt and
Yes.
some will be less than 11 kilovolt.
No, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. It can be.
if they are different, that means some of them might be 11, some of them might be more than 11, some of them might be less than 11 if they are different. Obviously, right?
Yes.
Can you see the problem here? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
There is a huge problem here. What is the huge problem?
The difference of voltage, sir.
I told you before that each disk can sustain 11 kilovolt, right?
Yes, sir. The last one.
The last one, that means the
V-
13, the
Yes.
V3. These will be having a lot of stresses because the voltage is bigger, right?
Yes, sir.
The first one and the second one, they are fine. But the last one will have a lot of problem. So these will be damaged. This will be damaged if there is any shunt capacitance. So shunt capacitance will be there because this is air. Air is always there, right?
Yes.
So in this case, this disk will have a lot of problem. So that's why the potential difference study, this study, potential difference distribution study is important. And we will be doing this study now. Okay?
Yes. Sure.
Okay, let me do some work. Wait a second. Wait 1 second. Wait a few seconds actually. Okay. Okay. Now, so we will be doing the potential distribution. So the following points may be noted regarding the potential distribution over a suspension type string of insulator. The voltage increased impressed on a string suspension String means what? What do you mean by string? What do you mean by string?
String is a wire set.
No, not wire. Here it is not wire. It is actually a, what should I say? Abdullah.
Yes, sir.
ওই আমাদের ছড়া ছিল না, ওই যে বাংলায় বলি না আঙ্গুরের ছড়া,
জি স্যার।
ওই যে আঙ্গুরের ছড়া বুঝছো, এক ছড়া আঙ্গুর।
জি স্যার, জি স্যার।
Okay, that is
Yes,
called
sir.
strings of grape. Okay, now the Somalian student, you understand. String means the, what should I say? What is that
Something
word?
unlike.
No. If you go to the market and if you buy grapes, do you eat grapes?
Yes, sir.
That if yes, sometimes if you go to the market and if you buy grapes, they comes in a what is that? What should I say? What is that? Okay, let me show you. I cannot say the word because I do not know. Okay,
Yes.
let me show you. The string of, yeah, this one. See, the branch. Can you see the branch?
Yes, sir.
The whole branch is called string of grape. String. Understood?
Yes, sir.
The whole branch is called strings of grape. That means if you have one string of grapes, that means many grapes will be there connected. That's why it is called strings of grapes. Understood? Because your grapes
Yes.
comes in a string. This is the string. The whole thing is a strings of grapes. Okay?
Okay.
So here, the whole suspension type insulators, the whole thing is called one string of suspension insulator. One string, okay? Okay. String of suspension does not distribute itself uniformly. Okay, that is the thing we have already seen. That the voltage does not distribute it uniformly across the individual disk due to the presence of shunt capacitance. Since you have shunt capacitance like these and these, that's why voltages are not equal. They are not uniform. Okay, the disk nearest to the conductor has the maximum voltage. I told you and you told me that this one, the nearest one, that means the last one, or nearest to the conductor, which one is nearest?
H3, sir.
V3 is the nearest, right? Nearest to the conductor. This one is nearest to
Yes.
the tower. This one is nearest to the conductor. So nearest to the conductor, voltage is bigger, has the maximum voltage across it. As we move towards the cross arm, the voltage across the each disk goes on decreasing. The unit nearest to the conductor is under maximum electrical stress and is likely to be punctured. Punctured means damaged. Okay. Therefore, it must be provided to equalize the potential across the each unit. So we have to make them or try to make them equal. We have to make them equal. Okay, remember, we have to try to make them equal. That means it should be 11, it should be 11, it should be 11. Okay, we have to minimize the stress. That is our goal. Okay, if the voltage impress across the string where the DC voltage across each unit, that's okay. Let's go to the string efficiency. Let's go to the string efficiency. Now, what is efficiency? What is string efficiency? String efficiency means a number that will show us how evenly distributed the voltages is. If this is 11, 11, 11, the efficiency is 100%. Okay?
Yes, sir.
If they are not 11, 11, 11, the efficiency is less than 100%. So using that number or seeing that number, we can assume the voltage is same or voltage is not same. Okay, so the formula or the definition of string efficiency is this one. This one, the ratio of voltage across the whole string. That means the whole string means total V, total voltage V, to the product of number of disc. Product of number of disc. That means if you have 3 discs, so it is 3. And the voltage across the nearest disc, that means it is the last voltage, that means the V3, is known as string efficiency. That means the ratio. Ratio means divide, right? The upper portion you have V, the lower portion you have, that means you said 2, right? 2 means that next, the before 2, these will be at the top. After 2, they will be at the bottom. Remember how ratio is calculated. Ratio is calculated using the 2. Remember the 2 word. This word is important because before the 2, the thing, these will be at the top here. After the 2, they will be at the bottom. So they said ratio of voltage across the whole string. That means the V. This is V. And the to the product of number of disc. That means 3. And the voltage across the disc nearest to the conductor. That means the V3. So V divided by 3 into V3. Okay? That is the formula. String efficiency is equal to V divided by 3 into V3. So previously, let's consider here, if your conductors are having 9, 11, and 13 kilovolt, what is the efficiency? The upper one will be the total voltage, that means 33. The lower one is 3 into 13, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the answer?
0 point something.
0.846, that means 85.
Yes, sir.
That means 0.85, that is 85. Okay, 1 second. Okay. This is 0.85, right? So 85%. So this is the efficiency. So it is less than 100%. So we can say the later portion of our string is having what is that? Stresses, right? Now think about this. If this is not 9, if this is not 13, if they are all 11, 11, 11, what will be the answer?
1.
Let's see, 11, 11. So here you have 11. So it should be 100%. That is 1, right?
Yes.
That means your efficiency is 100%. That means these are all fine. So no problem will happen. No stresses. So this is why string efficiency calculation is important, very important. Because before calculating anything, you have to calculate this. So the formula is V, that means the voltage across the string, divided by N. N means number of discs, and the voltage across disc nearest to the conductor, that means Vn, right? Vn. So this is your formula. So let's find out the mathematical expression of the formula. How we got this formula, okay? Hello?
Sir,
The voice is not clear.
can it have... Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
Sir, may it have been the voltage across the nearest to the to the tower may be bigger? May
Which
it can
one?
happen?
No, it cannot happen. It never happen.
Oh.
It will never happen unless you try to make it. Unless you try to make it, it will never happen unless you try to make it. Okay, it is possible to make it, but in practical life or in the whole world, it never happens.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's from the ground.
Yeah, because that is close to the ground. That's why the voltage drop will be less. If you want to make it, you can make it. I told you. but nobody makes it, so it never happens.
Okay.
So now see, thus 100% efficiency is ideal case for the voltage across each unit. It will be the exactly same, although it is impossible to achieve 100%. So it is not possible to get 100%, but our effort must be made, or our effort must be there to improve it and close to 100%. Okay, we will try to make it close to 100%. Now see, mathematical expression for this is very important for your normal exams. Okay, normal exam means when there was paper based exam, that time we used to give this problem for students to write. Okay, this was a must have question in the question paper, but since it is corona time, so we are not very sure about this, but if there is an assignment, I will give it to you. Okay, the mathematical expression, that means the derivation. Now here you can see the mathematical expression. Figure 8.11 shows the equivalent circuit of the 3-disc insulator. 3-disc. Here this is the conductor. This is one disc, another disc, another disc. So this one is C, C, C. They are all what? Self-capacitance. Wait a second, I'm coming. Okay. Actually, I am not feeling very well. I am suffering from fever for last 2-3 days. Okay, pray for me. That's why I am interrupting the session.
এখন আপনার শরীর কেমন আছে?
এখন শরীরের মানে জ্বর নাই অলমোস্ট, কিন্তু শরীর ব্যথা আছে আর কি। শরীর ব্যথা আছে আর মাথা ব্যথা আছে। সো আমি জানি না আসলে কি হয়েছে ঘটনা, তারপর দেখতেছি কি করা যায়, দোয়া করো। ওকে, এখন দেখো, কারণ এখন তো আলটিমেটলি মানে কোনো কিছু কি ইয়া করা যায় না, মানে
জি স্যার।
ওইটা হচ্ছে সমস্যা। একটু ওয়েট করো। Okay. Now here this is the conductor. So this is the first disc, second disc, third disc. So from the first disc and the conductor there is a metal link. From that metal link to the tower you have one shunt. From the second disc and the first disc, that means the second disc and the last disc, that means the nearest to the conductor, you have a metal link. You have a metal link right here. So there to the tower you have another what is that? Another shunt capacitance. And from between this disc and this disc you have what? You have another metal link. From that metal link to the tower you have another shunt. From these, that means this is also metal, this is also metal. Here you do not need any shunt. Why not? Because there, here the voltage is ground, that means 0. This voltage is also 0. That means if there is any voltage difference like these, like these, like this, there will be shunt capacitance. If there is no voltage difference, there will be no what? No shunt capacitance. So you have C1, C1, C1. You have C, C, C. Okay. So this current will be called I3. This will be called small I3. This one, that means through the middle one, is called I2. This one will be called small I2. This one is I1. This one is small I1. This voltage is V1. This voltage is V2. This voltage is V3. In total, they are V. Now, come here. So I told you before, C is some fraction of self. That means C1 is equal to Kc. I told you before, right? Remember, this K has a very important importance in this mathematical expression. It's very important, this one, K. So starting from the cross arm of the tower, the voltage across each unit is V1, V2, V3 respectively. Now we will be applying, this point is called A. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
This junction is A, this junction is B, this junction is C.
See.
At point A, let's apply a KCL, Kirchhoff current law. Okay? It's called KCL, Kirchhoff current law at point A. So here, how many currents are there at point A?
Three.
What?
Sir, one is entering and two are leaving.
Exactly. So I2 is entering. That means I2 is equal to I1 plus I1, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In place of I2, we can write V2 omega C. Okay, I'll show you how we can get it. I2 is equal to V2 omega C, right? This is from your electrical circuit 2. This is from your electrical circuit 2. Here, this is the I2, right?
Yes, sir.
This is the I2. What is the voltage in the I2? V2. And what is the impedance of this impedance? C or XC?
XC.
XC, right?
Yes, sir.
XC. So according to the Ohm's law, normal Ohm's law, your current should be I is equal to V divided by X, right?
Yes,
V divided by R or V divided by X. In case of AC circuit, we use X. In case of DC circuit, we use R, V divided by R, right? Pretty simple.
Yes.
Okay, what is X? X is equal to XC, right? What is X?
Yes.
X is equal to 1 by omega C.
2 by.
No, 2 pi FC, right? Omega C. Omega means 2 pi
Yes.
F, right? 1 divided by 2 pi F C.
Yeah.
That is 1 divided by omega C. Can you see this omega C will go up?
Yes, sir.
So V omega C, right? So I is equal to V omega C. That's the thing. So here you have I2, here you have V2, and here you have C. So V2 omega C, right? So I2 is equal to V2 omega C. Okay, by the way, you do not have to worry about this because it is already written in, at the bottom. Current through the capacitor, voltage divided by capacitance reactance. That means V divided by omega C. Or XC actually, not omega C. So omega C will go up. So you have V2 omega C and I1. What will be the I1? This one, right?
V1 omega.
V1 omega C. What will be the I1?
Yes.
Small I1. This one. What is the voltage here? We know capacitance, we know current. What is the voltage here?
V1 omega C.
Why? See, this point is common, right?
Yes.
Between this point and this point, what is the voltage?
V1.
V1. This point and this point, they are also common. Right? These 2 points are also common, right?
Yes, sir.
So if this voltage is V1, this voltage is also V1.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's why they have seen, they have written V1 omega C, V1 omega C1, right?
Yes, sir.
So in place of C1, can we write KC?
Yes, sir. We can.
Of
Yes,
course.
sir.
So KC. So here you have omega C, omega C, omega C, omega C, omega C, omega C. They are actually gone, right? You can divide by omega C in both sides. So only thing you are left with V2, V1, V1K. So you can take V1 common. So you have 1 plus K, right?
Yes, sir.
So remember this formula. Okay, do not memorize it. Just remember this. If you forget it, no problem, no worries. Because you can derive the formula like this every time you need it. Do not memorize the formula. Why? Because if you memorize the formula, there will be a problem. If I gave you 4 discs, that time you will have a problem. Okay? But if you understand the process, how I got the formula, then you can actually derive the formula for 4 discs, 5 discs, 6 discs, no problem. Okay?
Okay.
So that's why do not memorize the formula, because if you memorize the formula, you will forget, or if you will be in trouble if I gave you 4 discs, 5 discs, 6 discs, something like that. So Using Kirchhoff current law, make the formula. Okay, for next one, at node B, that means here, how many currents are going and leaving?
3.
3. So I3 is going to the node. That means incoming current. So I3 is equal to I2 plus I2. So I3 will be V3 omega C, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I2 will be, the capital I2 will be what?
V3
I,
omega.
I1 plus,
V2 omega C, right? This one.
Yes.
V2 omega C. Now the small I2, that is problematic. Remember, that is problematic. So this is different. Why? See, this is interesting. Everyone see this. This one, this point to this point, that was your V2, right?
Yes.
But this point to this point, is this V2?
Yes, sir.
No. This point
No.
to this point,
No.
this point and this point, they are not same. Previously, we have seen this point and this point, they are same, right?
Yes, sir.
They were same. But in case of this one, these and these, they are not same. Rather, this point and this point, they are same. Right?
Yes, sir.
Because they are the part of the tower. So this point and this point, they are same. So for I2, so if you want to measure this voltage and this voltage are same. Understand this?
Say it again, please.
Again, this point and this point, these are your I2, right?
Yes.
We need to find out what is the voltage here. Right?
Yes, sir.
So how to find out the voltage? So see, this point and this point are similar, are same.
Yes, sir.
So measuring this voltage means measuring this voltage, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is this voltage?
V1 plus V2.
Exactly, V1 plus V2. So that's why they have written V1 plus V2 omega C1. Okay?
Okay, sir.
V1 plus V2 omega C1. Now you can replace the C1 using Kc. You can multiply it, or you can divide by omega C. You have V3 equal to V2 equal to V1 plus V2K, right?
Yes.
So from there we can multiply it, V1, V2, we can multiply it and we can take the V1 common. No, not like that. From here, okay, let's do the math. From here, V2 plus V1K plus V2K, right?
Yes.
From here. Let's write the V1K at the bottom, at the beginning, V1K plus, from these two we can take V2 common. V2, what we have, you have 1 plus K, right?
Yes.
Okay, V1 is V1 remain like that, V1K. What is V2? In place of V2, we can write this. So V1, 1 plus K, and you have one more 1 plus K. Right?
Yes.
So this 1 plus K, this 1 plus K will become 1 plus K square. One plus K square, right?
Yes.
So can we take this V1 common?
Yes.
If you take V1 common, you have K,
Plus 1 plus K whole
1
square.
plus K whole square, right?
Yes.
So that is what you got here. So here you can see 1 plus K square, you can use a formula. 1 square plus 2K
Plus K square.
plus K square, and you have one more extra K.
Yes.
So k plus 1 plus 2k plus k square. So can we write 1 plus 3k plus k square?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is the V3. Now here, so V is equal to what? V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So V1 is V1, V2 is V1 1 plus k, V3 is equal to V1 1 plus 3k plus k square. So if you take V1 common, V1 common. So here you have 1, here you have 1 plus k, here you have 1 plus 3k plus k square. So 3 plus 4k plus k square, that is your final answer. So from there, I do not think this is important. This is not important. You keep it like this. Okay, keep it like that. No problem, nothing will happen. So very important thing is you have to find out the value of k and you have to find out the value of V1. If you find out the value of k, and if you find out the value of V1, you can find out V3, you can find out V3, V2, and V as well, right?
Yes.
So from there, what is your, okay, don't go for that. Okay, here, voltage across top unit, V1 is equal to V divided by 1 plus K plus 3 plus K. From there, we can keep it like there, here, and we can take this and we can divide at the bottom, right? So V divided by 1 plus K plus into 3 plus K equal to V1. So if you know V and if you know K, you can find out the V1, right? If you know this and if you know this, can you find out V1?
Simply, sir. Yes.
Simply, yes. If you know V1, can you find out V2?
Yes, sir.
Can you find out V3?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, of course, right? So can you find out the string efficiency? The string efficiency is equal to voltage across the string, that means the total V, N, and voltage across the nearest conductor, that means V3. And this is 3. So V divided by 3 into V3 into 100%. Okay?
Yes.
So methods of improving string efficiency, we will learn it later. Today, we are stopping here. I'm going to give you one small task. Solve math number 8.1. Okay? See how to solve it? Exactly like what you did. At junction A, I2, I1 plus I1. Junction B, I3 plus I2 plus I2. Like that. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Solve these at home. This is your work. Can you do that?
Yes, sir. We can.
I believe I cannot go further today. I'm going to stop here. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, pray for me. Thank you.
Inshallah, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay.